Well, here we are, and I'm right again. It's on, baby. The debate is on, Adam. Are you excited? Joe Biden, he throws down the gauntlet. Well, I don't know if he has the strength to throw down the gauntlet. He was carrying the gauntlet with both hands because it was very heavy for his old man body, and he just kind of dropped it on the floor in front of Donald Trump, and he said, "Let's debate, bitch."
Well, look, you started off that diatribe by saying that you got it right, but weren't you the one saying that they weren't going to debate?
No, I said it would look so horrible if they
Okay.
didn't debate.
You were right.
Yes.
You were correct.
Because if either side didn't want to debate, it'd be such a clear signal to the public that they don't trust the I don't know, not intellectual capacity, capability. They wouldn't trust their old man candidates to make it through a debate without crapping themselves or wandering off stage or sundowning or something to that effect. So,
Will this debate be sponsored by Depends? That's the question I have.
well, that
What,
depends.
what do you think?
Well, yeah, I hope so. So, okay, if you haven't heard, Joe Biden has officially called out Donald Trump for the debates. And two debates have been planned so far, Adam. And the first one is already going to be on CNN. It's already set down.
Wow. Well,
On
Donald Trump has done well on CNN. CNN is consistently against Donald Trump. Obviously, CNN was the progenitor of the Fine People hoax. The Trump praised neo-Nazis was on, some commentator was saying that on CNN 24/7 every 5 minutes for
right.
like 4 years. So, but didn't Trump did a town hall style thing with some CNN reporter. I don't know if you remember this, some CNN commentator, and they actually ended up cutting it short because Donald Trump was just destroying her. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
With Caitlin Collins.
Yeah.
Yes.
So look, so CNN is kind of the belly of the beast for Donald Trump. So it could play well. It looks like old sleepy Joe Biden is got the advantage here on CNN.
But maybe not.
Right.
Okay, so here, let's watch this video. This is actually kind of hilarious. Biden actually put out a video doing this debate throwdown, I guess, where he's trying to like do the Kendrick Lamar Drake diss track like energy. I don't know what's going on here, but it's kind of silly.
The only thing missing here is the empty chair that Trump is supposedly sitting in. Remember when Clint Eastwood did the empty chair thing with Obama?
Everyone learned that day that don't have old people shout at empty chairs. Yeah,
right, exactly. But look, if you imagine the empty chair right here off screen, this will be much funnier.
Yeah, if you don't know what we're talking about,
it does have that same vibe.
This was I believe it was 2012.
Was it that long ago? Oh my God, I'm showing.
Well, it was Obama, so yeah, it was 2012. And it was at the Republican National Convention, and Clint Eastwood was a speaker. And geez, I guess Clint Eastwood was already. I guess he's still alive. Right?
See, I didn't know it was 2012. Oh my God, that's like 12 years ago.
I know, jeez. Yeah, he's still alive. Oh my God, he's 93.
But you had to look it up.
I did. He's old. I mean, he's 93. So he was in his 80s. Chair? Okay, yeah, he was pretty old back then. But it's like 2012 was the RNC, and Clint Eastwood's a speaker, and there's like, I don't know why. I don't know if he brought it up. I don't know if he just improvised this. So this was the plan. There's like an empty chair on stage, and he does this whole bit where he like pretends that Obama is sitting in the chair and he's just yelling and berating him. But it really comes off as like old senile man yells at nothing. It's like the worst optics ever. And everyone was like, so what is going on in here? So
yeah,
never again.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah, let's not do that again.
No.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Old man Joe Biden doing his best Clint Eastwood.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me again. Well, make my day, pal. I'll even do it twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on Wednesdays. Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020.
He even did the Clint Eastwood reference. He said, "Make my day."
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, look, he's Dirty Harry here, right here, and the dirty. You've seen him smell smell that hair, right? When I say
Right.
dirty, I mean
Oh,
you,
oh,
you literally have dirty old man Harry here.
oh no. Terrible. Terrible. So I don't know if this is, it's hard to tell because one, this is the style for the children nowadays. But did you notice the amount of cuts in this 14-second clip?
Right? Yeah. Look, he's got to get the right cut in there. He can't necessarily do 14 seconds straight. Look, this is tough for him. Okay.
Oh wait, let's
He's
watch
been
it
carrying
again.
a gauntlet all day.
That gauntlet's very heavy. Let's watch it again and let's count the cuts. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. And since then, he hadn't
One,
shown up for debate. Now he's acting
2,
like he wants to debate me again. Well, make
3,
my day, pal. I'll even do it
4,
twice. So let's pick the dates, Donald. I hear you're free on
5.
Wednesdays. Donald Trump.
Okay, we have 5 cuts in 14 seconds. So, but that's what I'm wondering about. Are those cuts because it's like, we got to be like the Zuma kids. You got to cut every second. There can't be any pauses. Or are they cuts because like Biden started to wander away and like, eat ice cream or try to sniff the camera person's hair or something? It's just, I want to know. This is the information I want to know about.
I'm going to go with sniffing the camera person's hair. I think that's probably the most likely.
Probably.
Look, in this whole Donald Trump lost 2 debates. I mean, did that happen?
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I literally don't remember the debates from 2000 or 2020.
Right.
I mean, I don't remember what they were like. I don't remember them being particularly interesting or memorable in my mind. It's funny because I remember the Hillary Trump debates very, very clearly stick out in my mind.
Right.
There was Hillary actually, I say, pretty handily defeated Trump in the first debate, but then people were calling her too like aggressive. And so she kind of became like super weak after then and got like stomped on afterwards by Trump, including there's the whole like Donald Trump stood too close behind her to intimidate her. You remember this?
Yeah, yeah. Everyone made a hay about that.
Right. There's all this drama with the Hillary Trump debates. I don't remember anything about the Trump Biden debates. So
you don't remember stand back and stand by to the Proud Boys?
Oh, you're right. I do remember. Okay, I remember that. Yeah, but that wasn't anything with Biden. That was just Trump being a retard.
You don't remember Trump talking
right.
about the laptop from hell, Hunter Biden being addicted to crack?
Yes.
And Joe Biden being like, my son has had a terrible time with drugs, but he's working his life out. And I, as a father, am standing behind his crack use and whoring around.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there were some memorable moments.
That's true. There were. Yeah. The Proud Boys stand back, stand down, stand by.
Stand by.
That was
And the Proud Boys coming out on social media and being like, we're standing by, sir. We're ready.
Was that the oh my God, I know. That was
talk about
terrible.
Problematic.
Terrible.
Oh my God.
And
this is the thing about Trump. He always gives him ammunition. Why does he do that, Sitch?
Because he's dumb. What do people not get? Trump's not smart. He's dumb.
How dare you?
And it was funny because when he said stand down, didn't he? He said stand down and stand by.
He said stand back and stand by.
Okay.
He never said stand down.
Okay. Because to me, that read to me as a misspeak. He was like kind of stumbling for words and he just said something he really should not have said. Stand by. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But was that did he say in the debates, was that when he said he was joking about the ingesting bleach thing?
Oh, he said it was sarcastic.
He was sarcastic? Oh, God.
You're
right.
Sarcastic.
How could I forget? Okay, you know what? I'm going to give it to Biden. Biden beat Trump in those debates. These are some terrible performance answers.
Look,
we had the two biggest things they hit Trump with was the drinking bleach and the Charlottesville. And his response is telling the Proud Boys who were not Charlottesville, but still telling them to stand by, and then saying he was being sarcastic about the bleach comment. This is awful. This is awful performance.
Yeah, you should go back and listen to Scott Adams' coverage after the debates.
I remember he said he was done defending Donald Trump. which obviously that lasted a whole like week, and then he
Yeah,
went
look,
right
now
back.
he's
Yeah.
all up
Yes.
Trump's behind. It is funny because he did, that's back when he was a bit more sane.
Yes.
And he was super chapped that he had done so much work on dispelling the fine people hoax. What he calls the fine people
And the bleach
hoax.
hoax. Yeah.
Right. And Donald Trump had 2 opportunities to turn that narrative around and totally let it go. Like totally fumbled the ball.
Yep.
Yeah. What better time to rebut the fine people hoax than in the presidential debate? Everyone would talk about it.
Yeah, of course. And the bleach thing too. Yeah, because Scott's position, which I don't agree with, I think he's completely wrong about this, was that, he was just talking about the light therapy, not the bleach.
Well, he was talking about the light therapy.
Well, no, he was talking about both at the same time.
Bring
he
up
talks
the
about
clip.
No, he talks because when they come out, he's talking about bleach because they were cleaning the podium before he got there with bleach, and they were talking about how it like kills it in like 60 seconds or something.
Right.
And then they talk about the light, and then he's talking about the bleach again. And they talk about like he's the light again. He's all over the place, which is pretty common for Trump. But it's funny because, and I even remember I was talking about this after the debate, and I brought up Scott. And then like a week later, I was like, listen, Scott Adams, he's like a battered housewife. Okay.
He is.
He keeps saying, I'm going to leave that man. This is the last time. I'm going to leave him. Never again. He slapped me around for the last time. Then like a week later, it's like, oh my God, Scott, you're back. You're back with Donald. How many times have you said you're going to leave him? He's bad for you. Get out of there. And he's like, but I love him.
Scott Adams stepped in it and got himself canceled, legitimately canceled. Scott Adams is a canceled man right now, and I do think it has affected him. He went around trying to say, look, I'm always trying to get canceled, right? But then when he really got canceled, oh, that was not good. Look, and I don't support cancel culture. I think, look, anyone can have a bad day.
Sure.
Scott Adams had a bad day. I think what he did, like he completely tried to rewrite history about how it was
intentional,
an intentional racism that he did.
Right.
Look, we say this all the time. When people are pissed off, I mean, they go to the racist shit. They just do it because they know it's a thing that's going to piss people off the most, right? I think that's what happened. So I don't think Scott Adams is racist. I think he did a racism, but look, our society is way too unforgiving of this kind of indiscretion. So
yeah, I'd have to go back and listen to the exact words he used. I don't. My feeling was it wasn't like it. It definitely sounds racist, but my feeling was that it wasn't that he was doing racism. That he just was wording something very, very poorly that came out very, very racist.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've heard the exact clip, but
anyway, is there any other? Oh, go if you want to.
Oh
finish
well,
up
so
Scott
but
Adams.
then okay, so Trump responded to this.
Okay.
And let's see. It says this was the response sent by the Trump team. Today is a good day for America's voters now that Joe Biden has finally is in caps, accepted President Trump's debate challenge. So they're saying, no, we challenged you first, which I think could actually be true. I don't remember. President Trump in our campaign has been requesting this for months with a consistent message. And then all caps it says, anytime, anywhere, any place. President Trump has already accepted the CNN debate invitation for June 27th. So mark it on your calendars. We're going to be watching June 27th.
Oh, yeah, we're going to be watching. We're going to be loving it.
Yes. And also, the second debate is set up for September. It says he has accepted your proposal for a debate in September, but we believe there should be more than just 2 opportunities for the American people to hear more from the candidates themselves. The soaring inflation of Biden economics costing Americans hardworking families at the grocery store and at the gas pump, with our borders being totally overrun, with chaos at home, chaos across the world, chaos on our college campuses, we should have 1 debate per month. Therefore, we propose a debate in June, a debate in July, a debate in August, and a debate in September, in addition to the vice presidential debates. Additional dates will allow voters to have maximum exposure to the records and future visions for each candidate. We believe American people deserve more than what the Biden administration has to offer.
Look at this.
So there you go. There you go. They said, we accept your debate and we challenge you to 2 more debates.
That'd be awesome. Look, I think one of these debates, they should just, a good debate question would be, was January 6th an insurrection? What do you think?
They're gonna,
Trump could obviously
that,
take,
right?
well, yeah, but I think it should be a full debate. Trump can take the position that it was just a a riot. And Biden can take the soy position that it was like the end of democracy.
Oh,
the end of democracy as we know it.
Right.
Look, well, I don't look. People have made far too much of January 6th. So
the actual physical riot part of it, yeah.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Right.
I think the stuff Trump did about, the stuff Trump did at the Justice Department was way more
right, and trying to pressure Pence and all that stuff, was much worse in my opinion. It is going to be interesting because these debates, there's going to be a lot of questions about January 6th, and I'm not confident Trump's going to be able to craft a good answer. He hasn't been able to craft a good answer to some of these other questions that you would be like, how do they not have a good answer for the bleach thing or the fine people thing or the Proud Boys thing? So I don't know. I guess we'll see, because obviously that's going to be the topic of a lot of conversation at these debates.
So you think he's going to choke on the January 6th question? Come on, they got it. They do some debate prep. Look, he had Fat Man Chris Christie.
The bleach question so badly? How'd they fuck up the Proud Boys question so badly? These were very obvious questions that were going to be asked.
He's being sarcastic, Sitch. He had an answer. What are you talking about? It's a shitty answer, but he had an answer.
Why don't you just say I was talking about the light? I was talking about the light therapy.
Well, that's a good answer.
Okay, I don't know. That would have been a much better. Even if I don't think it's true, it would have been a better answer. I'm like, okay, there's enough wiggle room to say maybe.
Right. He should have pulled a lance and had a printout where it says using light as a disinfectant.
There you go. We should have a PowerPoint presentation he pulled up.
So is there
he's going to say was not, they're making a big deal about it. But I guess the question is, because they're going to ask him to say, well, do you support people going into the Capitol? Right. He's going to, that's the question. Is he going to have to say no, or is he going to do some kind of vague non-answer to that question?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yeah. How does he answer that question?
I don't know.
It's the people's house. If they want to break the windows, they can.
Yeah,
look, it's not that hard. You just say, I condemn any illegal activity that took place on that day, and I support people's right to protest.
That would be the normal answer, right? That's if this was any other politician.
It's easy.
Listen, wait, let me be clear. It is very possible that Donald Trump will give the normal, safe answer, which is that answer. I condemn, any illegal behavior, but I think people have the right to protest, without doing illegal things, right? That's the normal answer. That's the safe answer. Any other politician, that's what they'd say. Donald Trump, I say, is about a 50-50 chance he'll actually give that answer, okay? The 50% chance he'll just give some other wacky answer.
Well, it's going to be interesting regardless. I know we're going to be watching. Everyone's going to be watching this. People completely underestimate the stakes in this election, because it really is. It's do or die for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's legacy is on the line. Donald Trump goes from the biggest loser in presidential history, 2-time loser, 1-term president, or he goes to the comeback king. He gets a 2-term president mantle. He sticks Biden with the 1-term president, because there's no way Biden's coming back for a second term. Okay, that guy is almost dead.
Mm-hmm.
So look, he's either the biggest loser in presidential history or the comeback king.
Right.
That's giant.
It is.
That is giant. Yeah, the stakes for this election, massive.
For Trump, yeah. You're very correct. Everything is going to really his entire legacy hinges on this. Yes.
Well, look, a lot of people are. This is why a lot of people are caught up in it. If you're a MAGA person, if you're a Trump supporter, you're a little bit involved in this because you know the stakes. I do think a lot of people who don't really conceptualize it the way I laid out, they don't see these as high stakes. They're like, I don't give a fuck. like,
well,
presidential history doesn't matter on
of course,
on my radar, right?
and I mean that's true probably for most people. They're looking at more like for the country. They're not really looking at like the personal stake of Donald Trump's legacy.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm looking at it because I think
it
it's
is interesting.
fascinating. Don't
That's
you think
true.
it is?
I think it's very interesting. Yeah.
This is a fascinating thing. Look, he's got to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And look, I think Trump basically did once he lost the election, I think he did everything wrong to set himself up to be the comeback king.
Yep.
Like, he's got such an uphill struggle here. That whole January 6th mess coming up in these presidential debates. Oh, that's not good.
He's been getting thrown so much life rafts and life preservers.
Right. And he keeps popping them and throwing them away.
No, but I mean, like now with the economy, with the inflation, with immigration, with Gaza, he's getting a lot of lucky breaks here. So,
oh, I guess you're right. Yeah. Okay. Any other election stuff or?
Let me read some super chats. Well, there is another election thing that's going to come up, but let me read super chats first. The Nick of Time for $10 says the reason the oil reserve is depleted is because it's being repaired / expanded. When Trump maxed it out, they noticed problems to be fixed. Most of the projects are scheduled to be done in December.
Interesting. Oh, so that's on the oil reserve.
That you're talking about the because the Biden released a bunch of oil to try to make oil prices go down, last year or the year before last year. And so obviously there's talks. They were going to buy, apparently the government was going to buy 3 million barrels of oil.
Right.
Which is just a drop in the bucket, but it was going to start working on refilling the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, and then they pushed back on doing that because gas prices went up. Do you know what?
Do you know what a buffer stock is?
Yes.
Okay. I don't. What were you going to say?
Oh no, I was going to say also there'd be the problem that, if there'd be a concern that if the government says they're going to buy like a whole bunch of oil, you feel like, well, that's going to automatically raise the price of oil, right? Because people are going to be like, oh, okay.
Not necessarily.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, that's a purpose of a buffer stock. If you control a massive amount of oil, you can actually set the price of oil.
Of course.
Because you tell everyone in the market, look, at $80 a barrel of oil, I'm a buyer. And you also sell oil at $80 a barrel. So if anyone wants to sell higher, people be stupid to buy from them when they could just buy from you at $80 a barrel, right? And if anyone wants to sell lower,
yeah.
I mean, why would they undercut you when they could just sell to you for $80 a barrel, right?
Of course. And that's the government's purpose of doing what it's doing. Right?
Yes.
No, I get that. But I'm just saying, like, if they make some big announcement that they're going to buy, like, all this oil.
Why it matters? Why it matters is there's two ways that you can set prices. You can go to oil producers and you can say, listen, you have to charge $80 a barrel, right? Which is not the way to do it. That's a bad way to do it. Forcing oil producers.
The coercive way, yes.
Yeah. But if you are just a player in the market, buying and selling oil at $80, is that really coercion? You are effectively de facto setting the price of oil at $80 a barrel.
It could, well, I mean, I guess people would make the argument because the government doing it, it's coercive, right? But it's obviously less coercive than just being like, legally you have to sell it at this price.
Look, people can still produce oil.
Of course.
And sell it to you for $80 a barrel.
Right.
Well, look, free market.
Sure.
If you can produce oil for less than $80 a barrel and sell it to the government at a profit of $80 a barrel, what's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
Look, we'd also put OPEC out of business, who is constantly fucking with us, right?
Yes.
Well, look, this is what OPEC is doing. This is how OPEC controls the price of oil.
I understand.
Would you rather America control the price of oil or OPEC?
America, obviously.
Yeah, Team America.
Yes, of course.
Why are we letting them control the price of oil?
Listen, I think that I think they should say any oil drilled in America has to be sold in America up to the amount that people use.
That's a great idea. Yeah. Why are we sending our oil to these other people?
Yeah. Why is that not the cry from Biden or even from Trump?
We
saying oil drilled in America stays in America, right?
Yeah. We should be filling our Hummers with it.
Exactly. Listen. I want when I'm walking down the street inhaling all those unleaded gas fumes filling the air. I want that to be good old American oil that I'm sniffing into my brain. I don't want any of this Middle Eastern oil clogging up my lungs. Get that out of here.
Yeah.
They should call it freedom oil.
They should.
Freedom gas. Okay.
They
Freedom
should.
fumes. There it is. I want the good old freedom fumes from these cars. I don't want any of this Saudi fumes. Get that out of here.
What if Trump comes out and he says, my platform is to get gasoline down to $1 a gallon again.
Wow.
That would be impressive, wouldn't
First
it?
of all, even if they did this where they said all oil drilled in America stays in America, I don't think they could get it down to $1.
Why?
That'd be I don't know what how much would per barrel have to be to get to $1? That just doesn't seem possible. Well, first of all, that's impossible in your state. Your state is just effed forever. But like the rest
We have
of
like
the
$1 in taxes just on a gallon of gas.
yeah, right. It would be like $1 in every other state, but in California, it'd still be $2 to $3. So,
We're going, look, I'm just saying that would be an excellent campaign promise and probably would turn some heads. And Trump would definitely say something like that.
right, right.
Biden, gasoline, $5 a gallon. Trump, gasoline, 99 cents.
There you go. Sketch for $5 says 5 cuts in 14 seconds. Retention editing has gone too far. There you go. Very possible. Hayden Dill for $2 says, remember when Blunty Fly landed on Mike Pence? Epic. That's true.
Oh, yes.
That is true. I forgot about that.
That was a young, unknown Blunty Fly.
Yes.
Finally zooming in.
His big claim to fame, landing on VP Pence. Electro for $20. Thank you so much. Says S-Class is the best class. And A-Team likes Japan's favorite food, jelly-filled donuts.
Is that really? I do like jelly donuts, by the way.
I don't know if that's Japan's favorite food. So, I mean, I know they like a lot of jelly-filled pastries, but
yeah, I do like those. They're delicious.
I know chat doesn't like this, but I'm fascinated with MMT. I'm now worried that leftists are going to misinterpret it to gain power. I unfortunately think that's true of many things, including MMT. So they're going to try.
Yeah, I've not seen the new. There's a new MMT movie out.
Oh yeah, we got to watch that.
Yeah, look, I'm definitely gonna watch it. I haven't watched it yet though.
Where do we even see it?
You can watch it online. Thing. You can watch it on like.
Is it free? It's a big.
No, you gotta rent it. But
oh, okay.
Look, I'm
finding
down.
the money.
Finding the money. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And yeah, I'm. I just haven't had time to watch it, but they're actually having a screening today. In North Hollywood that Stephanie Kelton is going to be at. So,
wow, you should go.
I had looked up tickets and parking and stuff like that, and then I thought, I just watch this bitch online. Like, why do I want to go watch this in a movie theater with a bunch of strangers and probably like mostly leftists? It's so weird because I think the MMT people have a lot of stuff right, but then just making it so partisan, why? It's like, can you imagine if like the theory of evolution became partisan? Like, is that good or?
It kind of is to some extent.
Not really.
Well, it used to be, I guess. It's kind of been accepted by most people now, but
yeah,
this is bad. See, this is bad marketing. Okay, because I'm like trying to find like the finding the money thing streaming somewhere.
Oh, they're terrible. It's obvious like leftist marketing. I'm like,
yeah,
this is so bad.
I go on their website and they're like, oh, here you can watch it streaming on YouTube, but I assume you still have to pay for it. And I was like, oh, so I go on YouTube and I find like a video that's an hour and 34 minutes long called Find the Money, and I click on it.
Pretending to be finding the money.
It's pretending to be. It's a trailer for it, and then I'm like, oh, okay. And it says just click the link in the description to watch. Okay, so I go, oh, okay. So I click
don't
the
click
link
that
in the
link, man. That's like some hacker site.
Right. So it like just all it does is it just takes you back to their main YouTube page. I'm like, what?
Yeah, but it infected your computer. It went through some other link and infected your computer with some sort
Maybe.
of
Maybe.
virus. Yeah. I can't believe you
Yeah.
clicked on that link.
No, but it was a YouTube link.
Oh, it was?
It just went back to their channel.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, whatever. I don't know. The whole thing seems like, why is it so difficult to find this? Like,
Well,
just put the link directly on your page.
I found the original picture of Mike Pence with Blenty Fly on his
Nice.
landing on his head. So that this was in the presidential debate. Unfortunately,
Anyway.
it was. Yeah. Okay, let's move on.
Jelly-filled donuts is what Americans called rice balls. If you were cool and watched Pokemon anime, you would know that meme. Okay, there you go.
Well, I like rice balls too. So.
Oh, I listen. I'm not a child, okay? Even when Pokemon came out as a cartoon, I was like, it's pretty lame. So there you go. I say as I play Pokemon Go. Thank you, TL1524 for $2. Says, what are the top 3 issues each side will debate? I mean, I think it's going to be, well, that's fair. The economy is going to be a huge issue. The war in Gaza is going to be a huge issue. Immigration is going to be a huge issue. I'm curious if they will talk about Medicare or medical insurance or anything, which was such a big issue for so many years, and then it just fell into a hole of void and no one ever talks about it now for some fucking weird reason ever again, even though Biden literally ran on having some kind of public option, and that just got never talked about once he became president.
I think if we had universal health care and affordable housing, I think there would be significantly less people questioning American values.
100%.
I think a lot of the hatred of America comes from the fact that people can't afford houses or health care. So they perceive the system as producing a economy where they're fucked. So they hate America. It's very logical. Yeah.
Right.
But you think people talk about affordable housing, but nobody really puts together a plan.
No.
Or
no. When you're talking about Biden has a plan, his plan is he's going to subsidize demand.
Yeah, his plan is going to make it worse. So what? He's a fucking idiot, right?
That's
Trump
stupid.
is at least smart enough to realize that you have to build more houses.
Sure.
And he's not like he's outside of the mainstream politics enough to just come out and say that we're going to build more houses. Like I think Trump would put forward a plan that is like, we're going to build 1 million houses and fuck off if you don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I could see Trump doing something like that. If you had Christopher Rufo on Fox News talking about how we're 1 million houses short and Trump was watching it, he'd be like,
now, it would be an interesting task is what would the president specifically do to get states to incentivize building more houses, right? Because that's the problem. It's a state government problem. It's not really a federal government problem.
I mean,
now there could be something that they could do. They could contrive of some kind of weird federal tax break or states, or to subsidize the states to do something. I don't know what, but it'd be kind of like a roundabout way.
Look, you could go in and say, hey, housing is crazy unaffordable in certain areas. Mm-hmm. We'll give you $2 billion if you build more houses.
Yeah, they could do something like that. And Trump could probably pressure red states at least to lower restrictions or regulations, whatever's, screwing over the housing market. So.
Right. Because they're going to need money. If cities grow, they need money for streets and cops and all the things that go along with that. So,
of course.
Yeah. Look, you pitch it as a property tax rebate. Like, we're going to give you $2 billion if you cut $2 billion out of property taxes. How about that?
Right.
Well, then it's just they're not really gaining anything. They're like, what's in it for me? That doesn't give me anything. They need the money to build the houses.
Right. Stuck for $5 says Biden will win 2024, and at the very end of his term, he will fade away like Yoda. How amazing would that be? It's like the inauguration for whoever wins in 2028, and Biden's standing there, and then you just see he just kind of like fades away, and his clothing is all that remains, you know.
It's a great ending.
Actually, how amazing would that be if in the last debate, Biden is like to Trump, he's like, if you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can ever imagine. And then he just fades away. And Trump walks over and like just starts like stepping on his clothes like Darth Vader. It's like, what happened? Anyway. Nomad for $10 says, I just turned 26 today and got the best political news. Well, happy birthday, Nomad. That's great. Says,
What's the
mark your
news?
calendar, boys. June 27th. It's the day democracy dies. Again, LMFO. S-Class is the best class. And 18 reigns supreme.
But you don't share the news with us? What's the news?
That's the news, is that democracy dies on June 27th.
Oh, because of the debate?
Because of the debate, yeah.
Oh. Sweet.
Soyaddle for $2 says, Biden has done more for nuclear energy than Trump. Well, that's good if that's true. We got to be really pushing hard on the nuclears. So, Ed Wood
kick the Chinese in the nuts over chips too. Yeah,
that's true. Edward Sr. for $10 says, have you looked up Joanna King Slutsky's page on the Columbia University website? I have not. I don't even know who that is. Who is that? Oh, that was that lady who wanted water and food for the children's. Okay, let's see. Let me look it up real quick. Here's Joanna King Slutsky. That's a very unfortunate name, isn't it? Slutsky. It's actually worse because it's King Slutsky. So we have the King Slutsky. We have King Slut here. This is what their page on Columbia says. It says, biography. My dissertation is on fantasies of limitless energy in the transatlantic romantic imagination from 1760 to 1860. What the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
My goal is to write a prehistory of metabolic rift, Marx's term for the disruption of energy circuits caused by industrialization under capitalism. I'm particularly interested in theories of imagination and poetry as interpreted through a Marxian lens in order to update and propose an alternative to historicist ideological critiques of the romantic imagination. Prior to joining Columbia, I worked as a political strategist for leftist and progressive causes and remain active in higher education labor movement.
Marxism really is a secular religion.
Yeah. So I wonder when she gets suspended, is that all going to get taken down? Or what? So, terrible.
I discovered a new Marxist on YouTube, Grace Blakely. Have you heard of her?
No.
Yeah, I was watching this video and she talks about how, oh yes, I went back to my Marx and I reread Das Kapital, and it's just her talking about it. It's like I reread the Bible and I found so much inspiration. It's like,
wait, she's like a Christian?
No. She's not a Christian, but talking about reading Marx as you would read the Bible, like looking for little
I see what you're saying.
Meaningful tidbits here and there, little yeah. Instead of thinking of it like, what is the whole? A lot of books, especially nonfiction books, they are making an argument, like a holistic argument that you could summarize in one sentence, right? Like MMT is like, we're getting government spending backwards, right? That's like the argument. But what is the argument of Das Kapital? What is the argument of the Bible?
The argument of Das Kapital is that rich people bad.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, that's also the theme in the Bible too.
Rich people bad? It's a theme, but it's not the overarching argument. It's not the whole thing.
Sure.
Yeah, look.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Enthusiastic Pastry for $5 says, as an ex-con, Trump has me and my friend's vote. Not kidding. Him being a felon is why I'm voting for him. Felon vote is important. There you go.
I don't think he's got a felony, so I don't think he's
Well, he might if he loses this case.
This is a felony? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
How have you been listening to the coverage that we've been talking about for the last couple of days?
Wow. Okay.
It's a misdemeanor that's being upscaled to a felony because
I do remember covering that, but we talked about how
it doesn't make sense.
Super reach to upscale it to a
reach.
felony, right?
Yes,
yes. It's like parking tickets are now a felony.
Sure.
Yeah.
Chad Summer for €5 says Dev has finally gained the critical mass to become spherical. His fourth dinner has started orbiting him. Oh my god.
Chad, look, this is is it Chad that's continuing to go after Dev?
It is.
Wow.
I love it.
Chad, are you
Dev,
like,
what are you doing?
Do you work for Weight Watchers or something? What's going on here?
Come on, Dev. What are you doing, man? What are you doing, man?
Well, what are you doing, Chad? Like, let the guy eat. He's hungry, okay?
No, listen.
Some people need 4 dinners.
No, stop. Listen. We all here like Dev's content, okay? And in order for Dev to produce content continually for our consumption, he needs to not die, okay?
I made a joke about Dev on one live stream, and I was totally being sarcastic.
Yes.
And a bunch of people in the comments thought I was serious. I was
what
like,
was the joke?
You guys can't take a joke? Something about Dev's content being like just not like being dim, not like him not doing enough research. Obviously, I'm
should have been an obvious joke.
Yeah, look, I'm being sarcastic. The guy does massive amounts of research. What the fuck? Like, I thought that would be obvious. People are like, he researches his videos extensively, Adam. I'll have you know. It's like, yes, I do know that, okay? It's called sarcasm.
That's the meme we should start. You know how people they're like, Destiny just reads Wikipedia articles. We should be like, Dev just reads Wikipedia articles.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
J-Mac, our surrogate father, Daddy J-Mac, thank you for the $10, says, it's a Pokemon reference. Oh, J-Mac's getting on the jelly donuts too. It's a Pokemon reference, you uncultured swines. Sit, you're losing major 90s cred with that one. Brock called a rice ball a jelly donut in the English dub. There you go.
Oh,
look at that.
We a lot of times will put the God, I can't think. The subtitles up when we're watching dubs. And it's so amazing how the subtitles, they're not in sync with the English dub a lot of the times. Like, it'll say
something different,
yeah, the character will say jelly donut and the text on the bottom will say rice ball. And you're like,
right, because it's more direct translation. And then,
Well,
that was weird that so it was actually Sammy that called me out originally for not knowing this reference. So there you go. I'm glad Sammy and J-Mac are bullying me because I didn't like the Pokemon cartoon. Okay, I thought it was lame. Sorry, you found my dark secret. I thought the Pokemon cartoon was lame. Terrible.
So much lost credibility. Such.
I know.
Why did I ever tie my brand to yours?
Ocracy for $10 says, at this point, I really want you guys to provide some proof for what is causing the housing market issue. I feel like you guys are detached from anything real when you talk about
Ostracy. Look, it hurts when you say that. Well, no, I've said this a million times.
Right.
Like, look, I want you to turn around, look, as punishment. You have to send us a $20 super chat, okay? And you have to repeat after me, okay? Because we answer this question fucking a million times, okay? There are 2 political forces at odds with one another. There are the homeowners. Like, I'm a homeowner, but I'm cool, okay? Like, if my house loses value so that younger people can afford houses, I'm not going to lose any sleep at night, right? More good is being done in the world. Most people are greedy motherfuckers, and they don't care if you die under a bridge as long as their house goes up in value. So a lot of times they will use various political tools at their disposal to make sure new housing is not built because it will affect the value of their homes. So their voters, they're politically engaged. People who don't own homes are not always voters, not always politically engaged. And the homeowners always win. So they're constricting the market through through political activism. It's not really activism. It's just they're not working collectively. Well, they are working collectively together. They're just not having meetings. They all just want the value of their homes to increase and not go down. So politicians take this into account, and they help them keep the values of their home up. They know if the values of those homes go down, that they're going to lose voters and probably lose their job. So, Sitch, do you disagree? Agree?
I agree 100%.
Yeah, exactly. So look, $20 super chat. I just spelled it out. You say it back to us. We'll read it. Then we know you know.
Well, no, I don't know what you think is the cause of the housing increase, because it's what you were saying about this, these policies, and you can just read the stats. They're there of, how many houses exist to be sold and what is the demand for houses, and the demand is higher. Population is increasing faster than the amount of houses being built. So, I'm curious. I don't know
We're
what
a
you
million
mean
houses
by,
short.
Yeah, I don't know what you mean when you make this claim, but
there's supposedly 1 million people out there that are renters now and would like to be homeowners that are locked out of the market because of, for one reason or another. Maybe it's interest rates. Maybe it's, we're like 1 million short on inventory. So they're locked out of the market because the housing affordability, the availability, obviously there's an intersection between availability and affordability, right? Because if there are 2 million people that want houses and only 1 million people and only 1 million houses, what's going to happen, Sitch?
I was reading something.
Oh, okay. So if there's 2 million people that want homes and there's only 1 million homes, 2 million people are going to be stuck without homes. The people who are going to get those homes are the people who are willing to pay the most for those homes. Okay. So they're going to be the people with the most money.
And then, of course, you're going to have other people buying up homes to sell them or to rent them because they go, oh, this is look at all the pricing.
Exactly. I mean, you're going to have one person own like 5 of those homes because they're going to be renting them out to the people who are like, fuck, I wish I could buy a home, but there are not many homes around here. Yes. Simple supply. Look, Ostracy does. Ostracy, for the record, I want you to know I was only joking about the $20 super chat, but I do thank you for super chatting. That's pretty hilarious.
Okay. Ostracy said, for $20, thank you, Ostracy. Says, my response, I want you to prove what you just said, that homeowners are doing this. I'm a homeowner and everyone I know is as well. Not a single person I know has ever said that. I literally have the opposite opinion.
Well, so do I.
Well, you just have to ask yourself this question. I'd say it's very simple. Why do these various states have restrictive policies that protect housing prices, that cause housing prices to go up? Is it just a coincidence? Do you think it's just a coincidence? Because I don't. I think it's very clear.
What are property taxes related to?
Property value, obviously.
The value of the home.
Exactly. Sure.
So they're in cahoots with the homeowners because they want to collect taxes.
I don't know, because
for police and roads and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah, the 2008 housing crash hurt cities as well because their property tax base was eviscerated. Yeah.
Do they talk? I'm trying to remember if they talk about that in that soul book. I don't remember if they do. But I guess if you want to look into it hard, I don't really care enough to do this, but if you want to do it, you could be my guest, is you'd have to go and look at all the state ballot initiatives that have anything to do with zoning or regulations or things of that nature and see what the votes are, how they break down, what kind of organizations are kind of lobbying for these things in certain directions. I don't think it's a stretch to put forward that obviously when the main voter base for almost every politician in almost every state are middle to older age people that own homes, and surprise, surprise, housing prices just keep going up. It doesn't seem to be such a coincidence to me, but.
Well, look, and I also, every time they're talking about doing anything that's going to affect the value of homes in certain areas, like 1 million people from those areas show up at the city council meetings and are like very vocal about, hey, this is going to hurt the value of my home. So
right.
A lot of it is building, but they're talking about building like rental units and stuff like that. I would rather like we build more single family homes. I just think people are happier in single family homes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me.
I mean, another issue is that, people, a lot of people who are middle class, essentially the house became the major vehicle for investment. So, anyways.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point. It's a valid point, Ostracy. I don't really have any evidence that I've combed through to prove this argument. I think like the logic of the argument is there, but yeah, look, trying to make an honest man of me saying, look, I need to bring some data to this hypothesis. I think that's a valid response. So I agree with that. But I do look, do I really need data that most people are greedy pieces of shit? I mean, I feel like capitalism works because most people are greedy pieces of shit.
Sure.
Anyway, we lost Sitch.
Angry Bellsprout for $5 says, what would happen to housing and healthcare if Trump went full Operation Wetback, Google it, on 10 million plus illegals? Operation Wetback.
Look, you had to say it twice?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Operation Wetback. Listen, Hassan is doing the cracker discourse again, okay? That means that we can say slurs. It's allowed.
Oh my God. So look, if someone can call you a cracker, look, it's a super chat.
I'm just describing a historical thing. Okay, this was an operation in 1954 by the Immigration and Naturalization Service. It was a short-lived operation that used military-style tactics to remove Mexican immigrants, some of them American citizens, from the United States. Though millions of Mexicans had legally entered the country through joint immigration programs in the first half of the 20th century, and some were naturalized citizens who were once native. It was designed to send them back to Mexico. The program became obviously very contentious. Its primary response to pressure.
Are you at the Operation Excellent Swimmer website right now?
I'm at the wiki for the Operation Excellent Swimmer. It was primarily a response to pressure from a broad coalition of farmers and business interests concerned with the effects of Mexican immigration living in the United States without legal permission. Upon implementation, Operation Fairly Good Swimmer gave rise to arrest.
Fairly Good Swimmer now.
Fairly Good Swimmer. Yeah. I mean, the Rio Grande's not that deep, right? Gave rise to arrests and deportations by the United States Border Patrol. There you go. How many people ended up getting? It says about 1 million people, I think, were deported. A little over 1 million people. So it looks like according to this little chart. So, I mean, yeah, if you deported, 1 million people, that would have an effect on housing. Sure.
Everyone
I don't know if it had that dramatic of an effect on housing, though, as much as some people think, because you'd have to figure out, like, when we talk about, like, the people that are looking around to buy houses, is it, like, new immigrants into the country that are the ones going around raising people's property values in middle income neighborhoods? I'm guessing not, right?
Yeah, I want our economy to be wealthy, healthy, and thriving, and just taking buyers out of the market, like it just doesn't seem like an intelligent solution to me, right?
Well,
I would rather have people here creating jobs, working jobs, building wealth. Yeah.
Well, that's part of the problem too when people talk about like the immigrants coming to steal your jobs sort of idea, because they're only looking at it from one half of the equation. It's like, yeah, it's true. There are, immigrants and illegal immigrants, both legal and illegal immigrants, both some of the illegal ones, because that's what people are kind of talking about, which I'm not in favor of, obviously. But if you have people coming into America that are providing cheap labor, and that's true that it was, taking a job from an American, but they're also, as you were saying, a buyer. They're a customer. They're not just doing a job. They're also buying things, right?
Yeah,
they're also becoming a consumer.
If I'm a home seller, I want to sell homes.
They are also creating additional demand. For some reason, it's kind of, they're only conceptualized as just, reducing demand, which isn't actually the case. So
yeah.
But anyway.
Look, I don't think you have to address the competitive worker situation for wages and stuff like that. But I mean, I think we can address that stuff without just saying,
or you just make it illegal and actually enforce the laws to not have
Pay
illegal
under the
immigrants
table and
work.
stuff. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem is that it is illegal to have legal immigrants work, but no one, including red states, ever enforces it because they want to keep the prices of certain goods and services low intentionally. So, you know,
Dwight's Dwight Baldwin says ban home ownership from foreign nationals living abroad. Well, I mean, if they're owning the home and renting it out to Americans, hell
mhm.
yeah. Like what the hell is going on with that?
Of course, yeah. I don't think any
Right.
foreign company should be able to own like homes and then rent them out to Americans.
But if a foreign national wants to buy a home here and come live here, okay,
Right.
that's fine. Like
The
I just
problem
build more homes. Build more fucking homes.
the problem is I would imagine, which I agree with you. I would yes, I would probably guess that there's not like a foreign company who's buying up a bunch of homes and then or buildings and renting the people, but there are a bunch of foreign countries that have stake in various funds that have equity shares in property in America, right? It's like a little bit more complicated, which
Right.
could be partially owned by a foreign country, is probably partially owned by a bunch of United States, American country companies. So, you know,
Is it wrong to say like anyone who wants to buy a home can afford a home? Like is that a wrong goal to have?
no,
Yeah.
not at
It
all.
just seems logical to me.
Okay, anyway. Matt from Five says Lindsay was saying it's not a secular religion because as a Marxist, attempting to build utopia, a Garden of Eden makes you yourself the deity. That's interesting. Jacob Membrino for 9 months says, how do we feel about Jimmy Dore? I sent such a clip from a show about the FBI being caught staging the Mar-a-Lago document photo. That was good. Yeah, so we dislike Jimmy Dore. Or I
Well,
should say,
I got no problem with Jimmy
I say
Dore.
we mock Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore has some very awful takes, and he ran away when I questioned him even briefly. He literally ran away like a coward from the conversation. Um, So I actually, but thank you for sending me that video. I did watch that video you sent me, Jacob, and I was looking into it. I didn't have time to fully look into it to do like a complete dive into it today. But there's this, you remember the Mar-a-Lago raid and how there were like the documents on the floor and they took the picture of it and it
Yeah,
has
I
says all,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So it's interesting because I remember at the time some people were complaining that the photo was staged because they like spread all the documents on the floor. And I was like, well, obviously, who thought that like they walked into Trump's office and they just found documents on the floor exactly like that? I thought to me that was fairly obvious that they just put them out there to take a photo of them. Like, whenever they do like a drug bust, they put all the drugs on the table and they take a picture of it. It's like, okay, obviously the drugs were not laid out perfectly on the table like that when the police got in there. But
That would be a dumb way to set up your apartment if you were a drug dealer, right?
right, right. Yeah. Obviously, you didn't walk into Trump's office and there's just like a pile of documents that say top secret, like right in the middle of the floor. So, yeah. So
Welcome to
I
my
thought
home.
that was a weird complaint. But now there's a new complaint or a new claim that the cover sheets on the documents themselves, the cover sheets say top secret, were not actually on the documents themselves, but were placed there by the FBI. And I don't actually know the validity of that. So I was trying to look into exactly what was said, and I haven't been able to get to the bottom of it. But I'll look into it for next week because I am curious. Because that is an important detail. If those were added, if those were added and they didn't tell anyone, right? If those were added, which wouldn't actually be so weird to me that they would add these cover sheets to them before they take the picture, so people can't see the information. But they definitely should have told people because I know a lot of people at the time they thought they'd say like, oh, well, obviously Donald Trump knew that the documents were top secret because they have all these giant cover sheets on them, right? So
Well,
if
it
those
might
were
be
added on before
illegal.
they took the picture, that definitely should have sent that information out to the press.
It might simply be illegal to take pictures of classified documents.
No, I'm
Like
sure it
a lot of
is.
people will
Yeah.
say, look, I could have just blurred it out. Well, look, if you can't literally take a picture of the photo to blur it out, then this is the way that you solve the problem. You put
No,
a
but what I'm
top
saying,
secret
I
cover
agree
sheet
with you,
on
but
it
I'm
and you,
saying is that if they did add those cover sheets, which is, I mean, I could completely understand the logistical reason why they would. Um,
right.
they should have, because there were articles, normal, big mainstream media articles that were commenting on the cover sheets as evidence of the fact that Donald Trump would know that they were classified. And if they added those, that should definitely be part of the story,
Of
right?
course. Yeah, they
So,
should. whatever's the truth they should put out
Sure.
there.
Sure. So I'll look into that because I am curious about that. Mr. Borelli for $20. Thank you so much. Says David Pakman had cordial and pleasant conversation with Dennis Prager and Dr. Phil, but his audience crapped all over them and wanted Pakman to be way meaner to them. Could explain why Hassan doesn't want to bond with conservative influencers. That's interesting. I'll check that out because usually Dave Pakman's kind of like snide when he talks to these people. I'm actually curious that I'm surprised he had a cordial conversation with Dennis Prager, but I'll check it out. And you're probably right completely with Hassan. J-Mac for $20 or Sergafar, thanks so much. Says, as a competitive Pokemon battler, I thought the anime was lame as well. You're telling me a Pikachu is beating an Onix in an electric attack? What, because of some stupid sprinklers? Get out of here with that sheet. We'll see. Listen, you and I, we think alike. Because that was my exact thought process. I was watching this stuff where I'd watch Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'd be like, that's not how that game works. This is some bullshit. I don't like this anime. What's going on here?
Wow. They got to get it right for the super fans. No reason not to.
Electro for $20. Thank you so much. Says, Sitch, don't tell me about how little memes that you don't know. Look how I got the people to turn against you. You're giving me too much power. Right now, I can make fun of Adam for not knowing how triangles turn into squares. That's true.
Oh, okay.
Right. But I think at this point, everyone knows that Adam doesn't know memes. So it's like expected, right? But I'm like the one who's supposed to know these things.
I know some. It's not like I don't know any memes. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I mean, I talked about the overly attached girlfriend meme, and you didn't even know what it was.
Well, I knew the picture. I'd forgotten the name. Okay. Jeez, excuse me. And to be fair, Electro, listen, as a huge DBZA fan, okay, I get all the references. I would imagine most people in the chat don't know the triangles turn to squares memes, but thank you. Soyatl for $2 says NIMBY leftists love trees and slums more than homes. That is true. TL152 for $5 says all hail King Schultz, master of the ride, sensei of the style of dog, leader of the missionary, delivering blows to all who oppose.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing. Thank you.
Sounds great.
Mr. Borelli for $2 says, are you guys Team Fuentes or Team Hinkle? Jesus Christ, what is this?
Yeah.
What a fucking...
Neither.
Jeez, my God. What a choice. That's like, this is the suicide option? Are they going to like debate or something? Is there some reference that's going on here with that? That'd be fun, I guess. To watch two people you hate just duke it out. Vinny Doberman for 22 months says, thank you. Says another thing to realize is inflation has are up 20% of money's value since 2020. So these home prices are just keeping up with inflation. I mean, well, that's part of it. I don't know if it's exactly 20%, but
that's look, you can conceptualize it that way, where it's not the home that's increasing in value, it's the money that's decreasing in value, right? But if you still work a regular job and you can't afford a home, that's what you got to deal with, regardless of what the home price is.
And they just slammed against my window, but I don't see it.
Good.
Bird.
Hope it was an alligator.
It could have been. Ostracey for $10 for $12. Thank you. Says, I'm not saying no one does. I think California does this like crazy, but the 4,000 homes slated to be built in my town of 20,000 vastly disagree. I know what the issue is. It's labor and materials. Damn you, phone, for butchering my text. Well, I mean, you're correct that definitely labor and materials has a big impact on it. I don't disagree with that. And it is, I would imagine, vastly dependent and different for every location, every city, every state, every district that you live in is going to be very, very different from each other. So it is fair. It's not like there's a nationwide attitude on these things.
But Sitch, do you really buy that the bottleneck for building more homes is not people are not allowing more homes to be built over there's not enough people or materials to build those homes? We're having difficulty finding the materials. Well,
I remember during COVID there was a huge bottleneck for home building materials. I'm assuming that's been sorted out by now. But I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it hasn't been.
Yeah, because a lot of the processed wooden stuff,
Right.
I guess they were shutting down the plants that built that stuff because they were worried
Because
about
of COVID. Right.
COVID. Yeah.
And I would imagine that there's still, I don't know if this is true, but I could conceptualize that there still has been an increased demand that's never, the supply's never caught up to the increased demand once lockdowns ended, which is possible that's still having an impact. Um, but
Yeah, I
but in
can't
terms of,
imagine. Go
yeah, but
ahead.
in terms of, I mean, I agree with you that there is, voter bottleneck, but I do think that it is probably different depending on what part of the country you're in. And the attitudes about this do change depending where you are. So
Yeah,
anyway,
the that we have a real resource constraint on building homes. I can't fathom that
hmm
that's the case.
I don't know.
I think there are a lot of people, a lot of contractors, builders who would build homes all day, all night if they could get through the red tape to build those homes. If there was land available to build those homes on,
hmm
yeah. Look, that's
No, no,
what
yeah, like I agree with you that people who want to build homes and businesses
and
that want to
sell
build
them.
homes
Yeah.
and sell them want to build, they're not holding up anything. They want to build more homes, obviously.
Well, that's what
Right.
he seems to be saying. He's saying that no, those people don't exist because they can't get the materials or the labor. They're like,
I
I'm
don't
like,
know.
really? I mean, building homes seems like a pretty profitable job. I think, and everyone I talk to about who's like a contractor
hmm
or a home builder, they're like the biggest hurdle for building homes is government restrictions.
Right.
You can't build them there, you can't build them here, you can't build them anywhere, right?
hmm hmm
So the red tape adds a lot of cost to building those homes.
Right.
Yeah.
Libertarian Sasquatch for $5 says, as a home builder, look at that.
Look at that.
Inflation and interest rates are killing the market. Just this year, we've seen about a 20% cost increase to build a single home. Wow,
Look, and
that's
that's
interesting.
not, and none of that cost is going towards wood or labor.
Is it what, just inflation and interest rates?
Yeah, going to
Hmm.
pay the banks
Right. Interesting.
to borrow money to buy the supply and pay the guys. A
Right.
lot of businesses run on credit. So, and this is why this is another thing when we talk about the interest rates are causing inflation. Because as a business owner, if you have a business opportunity, are you going to say no to that business opportunity because interest rates are high? No, you're going to fold the cost of doing business into the deal,
Right.
right? So
Right.
if you're getting money cheaper, the product's going to be less. If money's costing you more, you're going to fold that into the deal. That's going to cause inflation.
hmm
Yeah.
Indigo Turtle for 24 months. Thanks so much for being 2 years of a free will seeker. Thank you. Look at that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Says our
Look at
refineries
that.
can't refine most of the type of petroleum we have, and it's cheaper to export it and import oil we can refine than convert our refineries. Yeah,
Well, that's
so
good to know.
I do know that, and I think we've actually talked about that. That is why they export it, is because I forget there's like the different tar and the weight, and they call it sweet or unsweet or whatever the hell. They usually use terms for it, and that our refineries, I believe, were set up for Middle Eastern oil, which has a different quality than the oil that we have here. And so, yeah, I understand that's why we do what we do. But the problem is it still allows foreign countries to basically control our oil consumption, our oil markets. So while I imagine it would be more expensive at first to convert or to create the refineries to refine our own oil, I would imagine that in the long run, it would be better for our country to have its own source of oil completely separated from OPEC and the foreign markets so that they can't do shit to screw with us. We'd be completely insulated from any sort of oil shock from a foreign entity. So
Right.
now I understand that that's not really advantageous for oil companies to do, but I think it'd be advantageous for America to do. Brian for $10 says, thank you. Says, in the end, we need to build more, and the zoning laws and all the permits the governments require are hindering new construction. Let the free market roll.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my argument. Government is standing in the way of building 1 million homes so that they can keep homeowners happy.
Mm-hmm. Bull Moose for $5 says, "Did you say Jordan B. Peterson say he doesn't feel comfortable about his Destiny conversation because he didn't think Destiny was there for any reason other than to win a conversation?" Well, I'm assuming you meant to
No,
say,
but
"Did you
that's
see?"
interesting.
But no, I didn't see that. That is interesting. I'll check
And
that out.
I agree. I mean, I think that's why Destiny goes into any conversation.
Well, that is true.
Yeah. Which we're just, I mean, it's not, I don't want to throw shade at Destiny because, I mean, he's a good content creator and obviously that is a way to succeed in this content creation game. It's just not really my style.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
We're more like in explore mode, which I
Right.
think Jordan Peterson is more in that explore mode as well, right?
To an extent, yeah, sure. Stug, thanks so much for the $5 and the retracted message.
Yeah, what did you retract, Doug? That's not
How dare
allowed.
you.
No more of that.
Mr. Borelli for $5 says they were fighting on X about if Hamas was based. Wait, really?
Were they? Oh
That's
my
terrible.
God.
Oh
That
my
is
God.
horrible. Well, their whole philosophy is take whatever you want.
Wait a minute.
Via power.
Without looking it up, you have Nick Fuentes and Hinkle, Jackson Hinkle, arguing about whether Hamas is based or not. I cannot honestly tell who was on what side of that conversation.
Obviously, I would say Fuentes is the might makes right, and Hinkle is the because Hinkle was was simping for communism on Tim Pool, so he's got to be the flattening hierarchies guy.
Yeah, but the revolutionary I understand what you're saying. Like it would make sense. Fuentes wants a religious theocracy, right? So he should be in favor of Hamas. Hinkle is supposedly
also wants a religious theocracy.
Yeah, but under Marx, yeah, right, sure.
But under Marxism, yeah,
right. So you'd think like logically, okay, so he should be against Hamas. However, a lot of these leftist Marxist types have been very, very pro Hamas. So that's why I'm saying, which even though it makes no
that's
sense.
a good point. That's a great point.
So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I don't actually know who is in what position there.
Well, look it up. We have to know now. We have to figure it out. Am I right? Is Adam correct or is he incorrect?
I mean, that would be a good guess, right?
Yeah, look, that's my guess.
That would be a good guess.
I don't know if it's true or not, but
I'll look. Let's see.
Or you can let us know in the chat.
Or if you know, yeah, I am curious. Because I mean, I'm looking at Hinkle's timeline, and it's all just Israel bad stuff.
Oh, it is?
Of course, it's all Israel bad. Israel killed people. Genocide Joe. Boycott McDonald's. My God, there's like some people, and you're like, oh, let me see what they've been saying on Twitter, and it's just like you just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and you scroll for like 10 minutes, and it's still the same day, and you're like, oh my God, do they do anything other than just scroll and tweet? It's like horrible.
I've tweeted maybe 10 times in like the last 2 months.
I know, it's ridiculous.
I go in spurts though. Some days I tweet like 4 or 5 times, and then I just go for like a month without tweeting anything. So
right. Fuentes was anti-Hamas. Wow.
So I did get it wrong. It was completely backwards. Look at that.
What was interesting? What was Fuentes' position on that? I guess because they're very Islamic. I thought he was pro Hamas. That is interesting. Deej Nuts for $10 says homeowners support increasing housing supply until a developer begins building an apartment complex in the empty lot nearby. Then the pickets come out.
It's true. It's totally true. Nobody wants low income housing close to their home. They're like, keep them.
Well, it doesn't
away.
even have to be low income. It's just it's an apartment complex. It doesn't have to be low income, right?
No, look, if you want to build like a Beverly Hills style condominium, like do it. Like that's going to raise the value of my home. We just want to keep the riffraff out. God, Sitch. One day Sitch will be a homeowner and he'll understand.
One day.
But right now, Sitch is the riffraff that we're trying to keep.
That's true. I am the riffraff. I am the street rat. Seeker of for $5, $6, $7. Thanks so much. Says a lot of the supply issues stem from '08. I work for a developer who's building as fast as we can in Georgia. Wow, that's interesting. So still going all the way back to the housing crash.
Look, a lot of guys who listen to us are probably in construction or, yeah, they probably know. They probably know better than us. I'm just going off of my intuition, but
so if you have the DL, man, let us know. I am curious.
Yeah, look, I want to stick it to Ostracy in an internet debate. Help me out.
I'm just curious to know what's going on, but so.
Oh, so undestiny-like of you.
I know.
I'm only here for the win.
That's true. Gotta get the big dubs.
Right. Well, I got it completely wrong on the Fuentes thing, so I gotta make. My win-loss ratio is declining here.
Right.
Are we going to do another story? Look, you guys.
Well, there's a lot of super chats. Listen, that's more.
You guys are so generous with super chats today. So yeah, look, this is nice.
Thank you.
Now that we do live streams every day, it's like you see our ad revenue like fluctuates hugely because we'll like have a huge day and then we'll go off the map.
Right.
And our revenue will like plummet for that day. So.
That's right. We need every day to be huge, right?
It all averages out in the end. So,
Stock for $5 says I retracted a message in shameful display of Pokemon ignorance. Oh wow!
Really? Oh my god!
I missed your shameful display. So let's check it out.
Pokemon.
Go back and look in the VOD and see what you did. See what you did, Stuck.
Oh yeah, we have it there. We did record it. You got caught in 4K. Although we only live stream in 2K, so.
Right. Libertarian Sasquatch for $5 says, as a builder, there is a lot of red tape, but we have months-long back orders on materials. Also, we can't hire enough labor even if we wanted to. Well, look, there you go.
So maybe it is the bottleneck. Maybe Ostracy is correct, and
yeah. So there you go. It could be the materials. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's interesting. Why is there not enough labor? Is there not enough immigrants?
Like, that's a thing that's what I was thinking. I'm like, you guys threw out all those workers. Remember, made the home prices more affordable, and now you've got no labor to build no new house.
Right.
Look in Los Angeles, it's all Mexican immigrants doing the buildings on these construction projects.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, same thing in Florida, only they're not from Mexico.
They're Cuban, right?
Yeah, or other flavor of South American. But that is interesting. Well, there you go. That could be a huge issue. Angry Bellsprout for $5 says the way Bellsprout embarrassed Pikachu by grounding himself before beating him in the anime was an inspiration for younger me. S-Class stays in the ball. I don't know what that means. Oh, like the Pokeball? Okay, well, there you go. I missed that episode. So.
Sounds like he's A-Team. Sounds like you're just hiding in your little Pokemon ball.
Because we all know Adam is just a huge Pokemon fan. He knows all about the Pokemons, right?
I know when someone's A-Team. I can sense it.
We should go back to, remember we do the thing where you would look at a picture of a Pokemon and you try to guess its name, and then people had to guess what the actual Pokemon you were talking about was.
That was a pretty fun game.
That was. Okay, so let's do a different. We can do another story.
Isn't Digimon better though?
I never watched Digimon, so.
That song is so infectious. The Hey
Digimon
song.
Digital Monsters.
Hey Digimon.
Oh, that's fucking terrible.
You hear
so bad.
You hear it's horrible. Don't get me wrong, but you hear that one time on the TV and it's like stuck in your head all day. You're like, oh my god.
I know.
All right, look at this. Daddy J-Mac coming in with 20 gifted subs.
Oh my god.
On the ball. Get there. Get your sub. Be sure to click the thing and say accept sub.
Better be quick. Thank you so much, Daddy J-Mac. Throwing out the greens,
Don't
baby.
you like click on the, I think you got to click on the super chat and like say accept sub or.
I don't know. I've never been in a situation to do that.
I did it once on EFAP. He gave like 20 subs on EFAP and I was like, oh my God, I got one. Yes.
You officially got a J-Mac sub.
I did, yeah. I was like, yes.
A J-Mac sub is better than a normal sub, right?
I felt, oh yeah, of course.
You feel a little bit more American.
It's like a Hallmark card when you care to send the very best.
Oh, I feel like most Hallmark cards suck.
Aren't all cards a little deceptive? I feel like they are.
What do you mean?
It's like, oh, someone else wrote this.
Hey,
Look,
listen.
this is the way I feel about you, and I read it, and it made me think, yep, that's it. They've captured.
Yo, but you spent money on it, okay? In America, what's a better way to show you care than something you spent money on?
Right, yeah.
Listen, I don't know about you, okay? When these holidays roll around and I'm looking at cards, it takes forever. Like 98% of these cards are all garbage. It takes me forever. I'm like going through every fucking card. I'm like trash, trash, trash. I go to multiple stores. They're so bad. I feel like when I was younger, they were like better. But nowadays, all the cards just seem so awful.
Sitch wants a card that is like, babe, I like your boobs.
I just want it to be funny. I'm always looking for funny cards. It's very difficult. It's like more and more difficult to find. So there's a great website called Wrong Cards. It has some great cards on it.
Oh, okay. Look at this.
Yeah, I'm always looking for funny
card
cards.
connoisseur.
Yes. So I don't know. Maybe you, Anna, maybe you just go to like your local CVS and you just like grab the like whatever card has like hearts on it, and you're like, here, honey, I feel about you. But me, no, I'm like going through everything. I'm spending like hours like going through all these stupid cards. It's just find something that's actually funny.
Jay, you could just send me the DM and like
What?
exit Sitch from the JMac for $10. Sitch, check your DMs. New Pokemon for Adam to ID.
Oh, okay. I'll send it to. Thank you, Jay.
It's more funny to make him send it to me.
It is fun. Okay, I'll just send it. I'll send it to you, Adam. Okay,
All
without
right.
bringing the photo up first. Don't bring it up first. Okay.
No, we got to do at least one more story. Come on, it's almost 1:00.
We're gonna do this first.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Let's do one more story and let me think on this, because like this is a complicated problem here.
Okay. A complicated Pokemon.
It is.
Okay.
Okay,
right.
look, I got it.
Got it. Okay, what?
Shamrock Devil.
Shamrock Devil. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Shamrock Devil. Okay, guys. What Pokemon is Adam trying to refer to by calling it a Shamrock Devil?
Yes. All right, we'll do a story, and you guys. Well, I guess we got to have eyes on the chat.
Well, JMac will have eyes on the chat.
You guys let us know who wins. Yeah,
he'll be able to figure out if anyone gets it right. Anyway, let's go to the next story while you guys mull that over.
Yes.
So we're gonna do the I guess the Tommy Tuberville story, huh?
Okay. Sweet. Tommy Tuberville.
Yes.
Well, look, I kind of want to do the running crazy.
Oh, we can
lady.
do the running thing. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because what's going on in this happening in this?
Oh my God, someone got it on their the first guest got it right. Jesus.
Did they really?
This is the first time. I can't believe it.
It's already done?
It's already done. I can't believe it. This is the first time, I believe, in Sitch and Adam history that someone got it on the first go.
Wow.
Crazy. Look at that.
Who did? Who got it? Who's the hero?
Burger Dan.
Burger Dan
got it immediately.
Look at
Ogerpon.
The truest of Pokemon fans.
Look at that. It's funny because JMac even said for $5, none of you are gonna get it.
I know. You typed too slow, Jay.
He got it. He got it immediately. Oh my God, it's crazy. Wow. Good job, Burger Dan. That was impressive. Okay.
Burger Dan is undefeated. And look at this, Mr. Ubercross. Here it is again. Get in when you can.
Mr. Ubercross, the unofficial Sitch and Adam lawyer for the 20 Get the Memberships. Make sure you click it. Okay.
Click it and get it.
If you click that membership, you get a free get out of jail free card from the law. Okay.
Look,
Just
I
kidding.
feel bad. I feel bad for like Nameless King and Evil Fandango. I think they might be the only. Oh, and Burger Dan didn't get one either. Oh man, I think we have like 3 people in the chat who are not members now.
Mm-hmm. Well, they gotta set it up. Maybe they have to set it up so it's not like
right.
Otherwise, you can't click it. There's something you have to set up in advance. So.
All right, what's going on with this crazy lady jogging down the street? I guess we can't listen to this because there's copyrighted music in it.
There's some kind of music, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
So
it's a woman jogging down the street, and what's she saying here?
Okay, so this lady is named Valentina Gomez. She is running for the Missouri Secretary of State.
Okay.
Okay. And her slogan is "A woman on a mission," which is kind of lame.
Okay.
And it in this ad, she's running down the street. I assume she's wearing a weighted vest, even though some people thought it was a bulletproof vest because it shows a picture with her with a gun next, like 2 seconds after. And she says, "In America, you can be anything you want, so don't be weak and gay. Stay fucking hard." And then when she
Oh
tweeted
my
this out, she
God.
tagged Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate for some reason, because that's a good association to have when you run for office in America.
Well, hold on. What's she running for? Is she running for like Cam Girls manager or something like that?
Yeah, she's running to be an OnlyFans model. Like she's very quickly running to get to Andrew Tate's house before he gets arrested forever to be a successful OnlyFans girl. So,
Okay. I mean, she's cute. She
right,
might be, that might work.
right. So this guy said, who was a vet, an Afghan vet, said, "So refreshing to see a female GOP candidate who never served in the military doing the whole veteran cosplay, stolen valor, bigotry as a substitute for strength, routine as well as any man." There you go. So how do you feel
Wow.
about it's interesting because if the ad was just, um, in America, you can be anything you want, so don't be weak. And it could have been like weak and, I don't know, like liberal or something, weak and libtard, weak and Marxist. There's a lot of things you could throw in there, but she threw in gay, weak and gay.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
we would never turn gay into a meme on our show because look, we respect LGBT people.
I mean,
Okay.
half our audience is gay, considering how much they like fan art of us being gay with each other. So, like, we're a big hit in the LGBT community. I don't know
What
what
do
you're
you
talking about.
look? First of all, I'm super straight, so I don't have the gay immunity idol here that you're implying that I do.
I'm not saying no. Listen, I'm not saying we have an idol. I'm just saying that we get to say that we have a lot of gays in our fan base, so therefore we get like the
We
gay
have a
pass,
gay
right?
friend.
Yes, we have a
Look,
gay friend. Exactly.
I
Listen,
don't.
Hassan said he said that he wanted to call that guy on Pierce Morgan uh, a twink,
Right.
and that it should have been acceptable because he's, a good ally. So that means he should get to insult someone on the basis of their sexuality, right? So therefore, exo pasto ad hom ad hombre vis-a-vis, that means the same applies to us.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm conflicted here because I don't necessarily. I mean, if she's making derogatory, bigoted statements, racism is evil. I don't like racism. I don't like bigotry of any kind, right?
Right.
But I mean, she is cute, so so therefore, I see her as like more human than most
Oh my
people.
God. The
So,
Coomer wins again. The Coomer comes in again. We
well,
know
no,
what
I don't
controls
look.
Adam's elephant.
I just
Pun
it's
intended.
what'd she say here about like staying hard? I do look, stay fucking hard.
Terrible.
That should be that. This is like an ad for an OnlyFans here. This.
You're right. You're so right. Oh my God. You're so right.
I think we might be being duped here. I'm
I
not sure
think
if
so.
this. I'm not sure this woman is actually running for anything.
You know what? That would actually be hilarious if there was some OnlyFans model who's running only like instead of the weighted vest, she has like her tits out, so they're bouncing all around. And she's like, "Hey guys, don't be gay, stay hard."
Was this on TV somewhere? Did they actually buy ad spots, or was
No, this
this
was
just
on
like?
Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
This is
on
just
Twitter.
like a attempt to go viral, which is, I mean, it's working. We're talking about it, so
Sure, sure. I mean,
I'm. What neighborhood are you jogging in that you need a like a bulletproof vest? You
well,
need
I think it's a weighted
Kevlar.
vest, but it
Oh,
looks like a
okay.
bulletproof vest. I can't tell, but
So
I'm
it's
assuming
just
it's a weighted vest. Yeah.
it's just so you get more
Yeah, it's
exercise.
just like it has weights in it and stuff. So,
Okay.
though I've heard you're not really supposed to do that. It's bad for your joints, but I don't know.
Is it? I can't
I
imagine. It's
don't
bad for
fucking
your
know.
knees slamming down.
With the weight, yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. Obviously, I'm not in the know about this stuff, but I think it's pretty fucking stupid. Obviously, I'm not on board with the the insulting gay people for no fucking reason.
Right.
Not on board with that. So yeah, I think it's pretty bigoted, pretty stupid. I mean, I think it's stupid for two reasons. I think I'm number one, obviously it's bigoted and shitty to gay people, and then number two, it feels very passé. Like I don't know, it feels like it's so. I thought we were beyond this. Like, oh, you're gay. Like I thought we were done with this. I don't think it's gonna come back. I don't think the it's gay thing is making a comeback anytime soon. And I don't think it's gonna help her.
That doesn't make sense to me because we
Right.
do like the latent gay thing every day. So
That's true.
Like
That's a
it's
fair
got
point.
nowhere to. What do you mean comeback? We use it like every.
Well, we don't
single-
use it. The chat uses it.
Right. But they do mean late and lame, right?
Yeah, but they literally no. I thought they literally mean that we're homosexual.
Oh, okay.
That's how I
interesting.
interpreted it.
All this time, I thought they were just saying that we're weak and gay.
Okay, maybe. I don't know. If that's the case, I don't approve of it. I'm not a big fan of it. So
Maybe we
I don't
should
like
take
using gays as an
Maybe we
insult.
should take the emoji down.
Maybe. I don't know. I interpret it as like literally gay, so I was interpreting it completely differently. But maybe we should. I don't like it. I don't like using gay as an insult. I think it's kind of fucked up. So
Is
it's
it?
fucked up if you use like white as an insult, if you use Jew as an insult, if you use black as an insult.
What about soy?
Soy's fine. That's not
Okay.
attacking like a group of people, except for soy farmers, but fuck them. They're putting estrogen in the food to make us gay. Oh, wait, shit. They're putting estrogen in the food to make us more feminine. There you go.
I think it's innocuous enough. So, but
I don't know.
I guess yeah.
That's making me
it's not-
rethink the whole latent gay thing now.
It's not. I'm sorry, I made you feel bad. Look,
It's not making me feel bad. Maybe we shouldn't do it.
I
mean,
really
we're not really
wanna,
doing anything. The chat's
I
doing
do
it,
want to keep the. I do want to kind of keep it up, but
I know you want to keep it up, Adam, but
look, I'm staying fucking hard, just like I've been ordered to. Right here.
I don't think it's going to help her political career at all. I don't think this. I mean, you're right. It's going to get people to go, "Oh my God!" Viral campaign ad. She's calling people gay, right? But I don't think she's going to win the seat because of this, and I don't think it's going to actually help. I mean, it could help her become. She could transition, into be like one of these internet pundits or something when she loses the campaign, and maybe it'll help from that perspective. But I don't think this would actually help her win the election at all. I think it's going to hurt her chances.
I think
Mhm.
just we're in kind of a prohibition moment with slurs, with I guess homophobic slurs, racial slurs, that I do think has something to do with this, coddling people mentality. I think it would be better if people could just not be as put off by racial slurs or homophobic slurs, and we could just go back to where we were in the 90s when we had Tarantino movies and people were like throwing around the N-word right and left.
Well, I think two things. Number one, I think we were in a era of prohibition for slurs. I think that has kind of gone away. A lot of we're seeing like that, a lot of people, even people you wouldn't expect on YouTube and Twitch, are feeling pretty comfortable throwing out slurs that they would not have felt comfortable throwing out.
Yeah, they're fighting back. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So
Tarantino used to say, look, if any word has that much power, then everyone on the planet should scream it at the top of their lungs and just take the power away from it.
But even okay, so like talking about like Pulp Fiction, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's the famous scene in Pulp Fiction.
Where's the storage at, Sitch? Tell me.
Oh my
God. Where's the storage?
I just saw Anna's in the chat. She says, I just tuned in and the first thing I heard is Adam staying hard.
Of course.
Perfect timing.
Look, we're talking about it in the context of a story. Don't clip me, Anna, okay?
Clip it. So, no. So in Pulp Fiction, when there's a very
what
famous
happened
scene.
in Pulp Fiction? What was the line in Pulp Fiction?
I'm not going to say it.
Why not?
Listen.
Don't you look?
Listen, we don't have the N-word pass, all right?
Don't you wish we could go back to a time when people weren't just all ridiculously... I mean, it's like the church lady. Everywhere.
No. Wait. Hold on. There was never a time Okay, in my lifetime, I don't know about you. There's never a time in my lifetime where white people could just throw out the N-word like in a context, in a funny context that is, and people just be like, "Oh yeah, that's fine." Like they could do it, and people would get all mad about it, and they wouldn't get canceled like in the '90s, right? But it was
I
never
look,
like you could throw out gay and fag and things like that pretty easily when I was growing up. I didn't grow up in a time where you could just throw out the N-word at people.
I was in a donut shop
Yeah,
in San Francisco,
yeah,
the heart of wokeness, right?
right.
And an Asian guy walked in and said, "What's up, my N-words?"
Yes.
An Asian guy.
When was
So like the
this?
whole
When
in the
was this?
90s.
Okay.
In the 90s.
I don't know, man. I just said this wasn't my experience in the 90s. I was much younger than you in the 90s, so who knows?
Look, the whole donut
But,
shop erupted in laughter. It was
right.
hilarious.
That is funny. That is
Yes.
funny. Right. Was that in reference to something?
That was a different time. Was it in reference in something? No, it was in reference in making everyone in the donut shop
but I mean,
laugh
like,
their
did
asses
Pulp Fiction
off.
just come out, so people were like, "Oh, we gotta start using the N-word more."
Well, no, it was. I'm not sure Pulp Fiction had even come out yet. Maybe it
Anyways,
had.
but my point was in Pulp Fiction. Okay, there's a scene where
they say this thing that Sitch is about to say.
There's a scene. Pulp Fiction, one of the best movies ever made. Unfortunately, Samurai Jack, or I should say the voice of Samurai Jack, gets his head blown off in Pulp Fiction accidentally.
Is that really?
That is Phil Lamar. Yes.
Wow.
Phil Lamar, who also doesn't he do the voice of Hermes in Futurama, who you like so much?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah. It is Phil Lamar, voice of Hermes, and Samurai Jack gets his head blown off by accident in Pulp Fiction. And they go to...
Where are they going to hide the body?
Yes, they need to get off. They blow his head off while they're in the car. Like they hit like a pothole and the gun goes off and it blows his head all over the car. There's blood everywhere. So they quickly take the car off the road and they find, I think it's Jules's friend. They find Jules's friend, who is Quentin Tarantino, is the director, is playing this character. And there's a very long scene where it keeps saying, do you see a sign on the front of my lawn
that says
dead N-word storage? And it's just this scene is a very funny scene where he just keeps saying the N-word like over and over again. Do you see dead N-word storage anywhere on this house? Right. And so
I'm dying to watch it in a movie theater full of woke people.
I know now they die. But my point was in regards to comparing this ad with the person saying don't be gay is the joke of the scene is, number one, you have a white person saying the N-word over and over again when they should not be saying the N-word, right? That's what makes the scene funny. If it was just a word everyone accepted, it wouldn't be a funny scene, right? Like that's what makes it funny, is that it's a taboo word. Of course, what do you mean? If he was saying something like, something that was just accepted, it would be funny, but it would be less funnier. Like if he was like, do you see a dead black person storage, dead African American storage? Like it would be funny, but not anywhere near as funny as him saying the N-word over and over again to Samuel Jackson. Do you see dead N-word storage anywhere in my house?
Look, it is a combination of the taboo, but it also is that is a surprising way to describe
exactly
what is going on.
Right. But
because there is it makes you think, well, is there like a place that is called that somewhere?
That's what I was wondering. I was like, maybe there is a place that's that. But right. But
a lot of stuff going on there.
My point is that in that scene, he's not calling Jules, Samuel Jackson, he's not calling him the N-word. He's
calling the dead guy that, though.
Yeah, but he's not using it in a derogatory manner. He's not saying like, oh, don't be an N-word, do something positive, right? Like in this commercial that this person put out, they're saying, don't be gay, being gay is bad, right? In Pulp Fiction, he's not saying don't be an N-word, N-word is bad. So it's a completely different context.
Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah.
I don't think people would feel as good about it as if you had, him going like, oh, N-word is bad, N-word is this, black people are bad, blah, 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 blah. Right. Now, obviously, in the movie that takes place in slavery times, they're calling black people the N-word left and right, but that's more just because it's historically accurate.
And that's situation. Not funny. Yeah.
Right. That wasn't really like funny, but
yeah.
So I think it's a different situation.
If they say dead N-word storage in like, what is it, 20 Years a Slave?
In
it's
Django.
Like a completely different context. You're like, oh my God.
Well, it's not about Django, not.
Right. Well, I just, that
Sure.
20 Years a Slave is like a serious movie.
It's a serious movie. Well, obviously, if it would stick out very weird, that's the case, right? If in the oh my God, what was the movie with the women that were doing the rocket ships?
I never saw that
about?
movie, but I do know what you're talking about. Yeah.
What the fuck was the name of that movie?
Something.
Hidden Figures.
Oh, Hidden Figures.
Yeah, if the Hidden Figures ladies were like, trying to do math and they walk into the wrong room and then there's fucking Pulp Fiction director Quentin Tarantino is like, do you see, and is this the N-word science room? Right? You'd be like, what the fuck? It just wouldn't really have the same comedic effect, right?
Oh,
like that was out of place to this movie.
Oh my God. But it's funny because they did try to pack that into that movie, didn't they?
They tried to talk about, the adversity that some of the women faced, which some of it turned out to be made up.
How about they did have one character in there that they were trying to play up as like the racist white guy, right? What if that character they cast Quentin Tarantino?
Oh my God, that'd be amazing. Was it? I'll be honest, I haven't seen Hidden Figures. I thought the racist white person was supposed to be Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know. I haven't seen it, so.
But
it would be funny if you had Quentin Tarantino just playing an avowed racist in like a very serious movie. But I don't think anyone would take him seriously, though. So that'd be the problem. You start laughing whenever you see him on stage.
Yes. All right. Are we going to do another story or are we wrapping up?
I don't know. Are we? It's up to you.
No, let's just do the rest of the super chats.
Okay. Don't you be sassing me, boy.
Look, there's two responses that Sitch and I both do. It's I say interesting, and Sitch says okay. They both basically mean the same thing. It means let's
okay.
move on.
When I say okay, it means whatever. It means I'm fine. Yeah. It literally means okay. Like you don't have to listen. You don't have to become like a woman, Adam. You don't have to analyze every little thing I do for like hidden slights or weird things. All right.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fuck you. Anyways, there's another one. Sewany for 15 months says to weed or no to weed. I mean, are you driving? If you're not,
how do they spell weed?
What do you mean? How do they spell weed? How else do you spell weed?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, to weed or not to weed? The eternal question.
There you go.
Did you watch that Afro Man interview with the Steven Crowder guys? It was actually pretty interesting.
No, what's that?
Afro Man was a guy that did the song And Then I Got High, remember?
I know who that is, yeah.
Like I was going to go to my court date and then I got high.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's super interesting because obviously he's got a much more progressive mindset than any of the Steven Crowder guys.
Mm-hmm.
But he made a song ripping on Hunter Biden. So now, like, a lot of those conservative guys are like jumping in, we love you. You're ripping on our political opposition, right?
Right.
So it was just an interesting conversation because there was some overlap in the religious stuff as well. But I mean, maybe I'll send it to you. You should.
I'll check it out. Yeah, that does sound kind of interesting.
But I was like, whoa, it's Afro Man.
Why is he on Steven Crowder? What the hell?
Yeah, because he had that. I kind of consider him like a one-hit wonder, but it seems like he's still out there making music and has a career and stuff like that. So, but that song I've listened to recently, and it seems like that song couldn't get made in the current context.
Because I got high song?
Yeah, because it seems like a lot of woke SJWs would say this creates negative stereotypes of black people. Yeah, exactly. Sure. Yeah.
But it's not, well, first of all, it's by a black guy. And then secondly, you could say that, but it's not about being black. It's just about getting high and fucking up, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Look, I think I've gotten high and fucked up a couple times. So yeah, look, that's a rite of passage, regardless. Like black, white, red, yellow. Like getting high. Well, maybe not yellow. Maybe not Asian people.
I mean, first of all, we all should have expected, and we're all kind of stupid for not seeing the very, very obvious. Like, of course, Afroman should come out with a version of Hunter Got High, so he fucked up song, right? That's just it's made for that.
I know it is.
Right?
Yeah, it's supposedly a song, like a viral song.
I mean, I'm looking at the lyrics here. It's pretty funny. It says he was going to get his laptop fixed, but Hunter got high. He wasn't going to show all those dick pics, but then he got high. He should have let Hillary bleach the whole hard drive, but Hunter got high. Like, this is pretty funny. I mean,
yeah, no, it's
itself.
hilarious. Yeah.
Right?
I figured you'd like that because it's in that comedy music vein that I'm always making fun of you for.
Yeah, you hate funny songs because I don't know, you're weird.
Yeah, well, it depends. Anyway. Interesting.
Anyways, Lucy Lemonbug, thanks so much for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Lucy.
Yes.
Despite the fact that you're a dirty, dirty sticker.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's your slurs for the day. Jack H, thank you so much for joining the Free Will Seekers.
Yes.
Mike Hassange for $10 says, did you guys see the Wigs of Power tease? I repeat what I said. Season 1,
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power. Yeah. Oh, it was a mistype. I repeat what I said about season 1. They didn't reach points until episode 5. Then actual slow burn would reach by episode 2. Rings of Power isn't a slow burn. It's a chefs forgot to turn off the oven. I did see the teaser. I couldn't really make heads or tails of anything from it because it's just a bunch of shots of people looking at the camera like very intently and saying things with no context. And you're like, it's a teaser trailer. I'm sure it's going to be awful though. So
Sitch made a couple videos on Rings of Power. I was helping Sitch do videos on his main channel then, but those videos didn't really do real good numbers. The She-Hulk videos, oh man, those were gangbusters. So.
Right.
But I did see like Gary from Nerdrotic. I think he made a lot of good videos on Rings of Power, and I saw a lot of other creators did as well.
Rings of Power second season is from returning showrunners. So they have the same showrunners. Okay. That'd be the only thing that could possibly say it, I guess, if they got rid of the showrunner and writing staff. But it looks like it's the same people, so expect it to be awful. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible.
It to be totally trash. I am kind of surprised they even made a season 2. But they said, I think they said that Amazon claimed that they had good viewership, but it could have been good viewership for the wrong reasons. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's just a massive drop off in season 2 of people not really caring. Okay. J-Mac, car surrogate father, thanks so much for the $10. Says, I wear a 50-pound vest for stairs and walking, but not for running. You can definitely mess up your knees, especially for us 30-plus folks. If you want to jog, you can use a rucksack. Well, there you go. That's what I thought. So I'm glad I didn't just make that up.
Cool.
Fondue for $2 says, late and happy doesn't have the same ring to it. I mean, you're right. But still.
It doesn't.
Righteous Indifference for 12 months. Thanks so much. Says, in my opinion, the best breakdown of slur usage was a Kids in the Hall sketch analyzing the F slur letter by letter. I recommend it. Well, check that out. I haven't seen the Kids in the Hall in like forever, but
that's 90s as hell.
That is, yeah. Nomad for $5 says, look, using the gay joke is fine depending on who you say it to. At here, it's fine because we all use it for jokes in our friend group. I mean, I get it. Like, I get it, and listen. This is my take on it. Okay, you know, as a '90s kid, I used to throw out gay like constantly. Gay was the go-to insult for people my age growing up.
Right.
It was just constant. I don't know why, and none of us, not a single one of us, ever meant it in any sort of derogatory term against gay people or anything. And I was just like, yeah, it's just gay. And then people would complain about it. Like when I got a little bit older, and I was like, whatever, you know, we don't mean it like that. It's totally fine. It's not a big deal. And then I had this weird, and I even had like, there was a situation where there were gay people we interacted with who were like super offended by it and everything. And I was like, whatever, fuck them. We don't mean it, in that way. They should just, not be bothered by it. And
Toughen
then,
up.
right. And then I had this really, really weird interaction where an intergroup friend group that I had been interacting with and known for like, I don't know, over a year. One of the people said like they threw out Jew as an insult, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And it was super weird to me because I had not grown up at all with people throwing out Jew as an insult, and I was like, "Bro, what the fuck?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't dislike Jews or anything, blah 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 blah." And
He
I
gave you the
listened.
same line.
And listen, yeah, same line. I'm like, oh my God, it finally dawned on me. I'm like, it's the thing. It's the thing where you don't get it until like it happens to you thing. And then it changes your mind. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I get it now. I'm like, it's kind of shitty. Like I was like, this is a fucking weird feeling. So
But
obviously
maybe
people
maybe you were weak though. Maybe you should have just sucked it up and been
no,
like,
it's not like listen, it's not that I was still friends with that person. I didn't like break off the
right.
friendship or anything. And they didn't say it after I said like, whoa, what the fuck? But it was like a really weird I was like, whoa, that doesn't feel good.
Yeah, but
So
a lot of things are like weird feelings until you reconceptualize
no,
them,
but there's
right?
okay, let me be clear here. There's a difference in terms of like in my friend group, we would call each other intentionally like slurs to be funny. Okay. So like they'd be like, oh, F you, Jew. And I'd be like, oh, F you, whatever slur related to whatever their ethnicity was, right?
Right.
But it'd be like very specific.
Top tier comedy.
No, sure, whatever. We're like in middle school. Okay. Right. Or high school. In both. Okay. That's
No,
very
I love
different,
it.
right?
Yeah.
That's a very, very different thing than referring to something good or bad as being gay or Jewish. You understand? That's like a
Right. Yeah.
completely different experience. And so that's why I was like, oh, that's so weird, right? You're like using like Jew to mean bad, right?
Right.
As opposed to just saying, oh, shut up, you Jew. And I'm like, oh, shut up, thing I probably can't say on YouTube, right? So,
No, I
so
do get it. I just culturally, if nobody has that funny feeling or feels put down by it, then it's just there's no harm or foul, right?
of course, but that's the whole point is to put it down, whether you mean it to or not. You're saying that this thing means something bad. You're saying to be gay is to be bad. To be Jewish is to be bad. That's what it means when you use it in that way.
Right.
That's the entire point of using it in that process.
Right. I guess the problem is being able to use it in other contexts, but then people are just idiots. So they'll always use it in the wrong context to make it derogatory. And then
Well,
pretty
it's
soon you
like
just got to prohibit its use at all.
imagine if, and a lot of woke people, a lot of leftists do this, where they'll throw out white or cracker, and so we have the cracker discourse now with the song again, thanks. But they'll throw out white as an insult. Okay. Oh, it's very white of you, right? Oh, it's so white. Complain about this thing. Oh, it's such a cracker thing to complain about, right? And
Mhm.
if and I think that's super fucking offensive and terrible, and people shouldn't be saying that. And it's just incredibly stupid for a variety of reasons. And if that became like a big thing that all the woke people were pushing was to literally use white, meaning white people, as an insult. So it just meant bad, right? Whenever something's bad, you're like, okay, white,
No,
okay,
we just take
whitey,
it back
right?
exactly like the N word.
I'd be like, I wouldn't support that. I'd say that's super fucked up.
No, you just take it back just like the N word. Remember the N
Okay.
word used to be like negative and then they turned it into like you're my friend.
Right. You can do that as a tactic. That's fine, but that doesn't mean that they should be doing it in the first place, right?
Right.
So,
Yeah, look, I'm just conflicted on it. I really
okay.
am. I don't like telling people you can't do something because a lot of times it just makes them want to do it even
Well,
more.
listen, I'm not
And
saying anyone should not, I'm not saying we should go around like telling people not to do something. I'm just saying why I don't support it.
right. Yeah,
So,
I get it.
okay.
All right. That's it. Thanks a lot.
Metalworks.
Oh,
No. Metalworks for 11.90 for $5 says Sitch as a white bisexual. I have no problem with people saying gay or white people jokes as long as they don't make it weird or feel malicious. Well, I mean, that's
yeah.
the issue, right? I agree with you. It depends on the context completely. So.
Yeah, look, and we cover a lot of that stuff on the show. Obviously, sometimes people do use white maliciously, and
Of
I do
course.
think you can tell the difference. And somebody just saying, "Oh, that's so white," or first world problems. A lot of times people will say, which is similar to white, right?
Yeah, not quite, but has a sort of an implication, a dog whistle,
Yeah,
if you will. Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
But I'm not going to give up like first world status or lose any sleep over it because
Of
someone says
course.
first world problems.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like I'm not saying anyone should lose sleep over anything. Just saying that doesn't mean you should necessarily do it though.
Right.
Obviously, as individuals, we should all like learn to have thick skin.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. Dignity culture.
Right. But
Your
that doesn't mean that
dignity comes from within, regardless
I
of what people say about you.
right. I agree we should all be developing thick skin. That doesn't mean people should be running around calling people the N-word, right?
Right.
Like, though both of these things could be true. Angry Bellsprout for $20. Thank you so much for $20. Because
Yeah.
my hometown has an Italian restaurant they've been trying to cancel for many years because he has a sign saying dead N-word storage
No way.
uncensored. That is pretty funny. And the snowflakes on Facebook claim it is a death threat against anyone black entering the store. That's hilarious. That's fun. I mean, it is weird in this like long after the movie to have the sign up, I guess, but because
Oh
it's
my
like people
God.
still even like reference that anymore. But that is pretty funny.
Yeah. Wow.
Majin for $5 says, "Hey Sitch, heads up after the stream. I have something I need to store at your place. I placed the sign up earlier. You should ignore." Oh God, what did you do?
That was an interesting conversation. So
It was, yeah. Oh, someone sent me the Jackson Hinkle versus Fuentes thing. Fuentes says the only difference between Likud and Hamas is that Likud has nuclear weapons. And then Jackson Hinkle says Hamas are freedom fighters where Likud Zionists are carrying out a genocide. The difference is clear as day. Then Fuentes responds by saying, by explicitly supporting Hamas, you are playing into the Zionist framing of the conflict. Terrorist tactics, including suicide bombing, are totally unacceptable. Or did you forget you were pretending to be Christian today? Nobody in America supports Hamas either. Well, that's not true, but Hinkle then responded, drop a like if you're an American who supports Hamas. Unlike you and Piers Morgan, I don't condemn Hamas. Palestine has unconditionally right to armed resistance in the face of this genocidal occupation. There you go.
Jesus, famous suicide bomber.
Right. So there you go. Jackson Hinkle on the side of Hamas. Fuentes, kind of surprisingly not, which I guess I'm a little surprised by, but okay. I think his hatred of Jews clouds his judgment of his normal level of bigotry, if that makes sense. So like the hatred of Jews overrides everything else.
Fuentes would say that he doesn't hate Jewish people, though.
He 1000% does, though.
I don't think he would say that.
Yeah, but he's lying. Who cares?
Well, he believes a conspiracy that
He literally had the big rally where he said Jews believe that they can lie, cheat, and murder non-Jews, and these Jews are destroying our society and importing brown people. So that's why we need to make sure they can't own businesses or run for government office. And then
maybe
if you turn
I'm
around and
thinking
say,
of,
but listen, I don't hate them. It's like, get out. Like, fuck you. Like, right?
maybe
It's
I'm
like,
thinking
okay.
of Richard Spencer, because Richard Spencer has that whole diatribe about how that, he's not a white supremacist. He doesn't think whites are superior. He just, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Spencer had that whole game going on there, but Fuentes is more like white people are better, at least more explicitly than Spencer is. So, okay. Stug for $2 says more like wrongs of power.
True.
There you go. John R for $2 says watch Soft and Quiet. It's a movie.
Is it?
What's it about?
I don't know.
Playing out in real time, an elementary school teacher organizes a mixer of like-minded women when she encounters a woman from her past, leading to a volatile chain of events. Well, that doesn't tell me anything, but okay.
Looks like it's on Netflix, so maybe I'll check it out.
Okay. Looks like it has really bad ratings. Okay.
Oh, does it?
Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but that's kind of funny.
I mean, IMDb ratings are always shit.
No, it
Got
has something to do with
85%
like
on Rotten Tomatoes, so
kindergarten teacher Emily organizes the first time meeting of the quote Daughters for Aryan Unity, an organization of white supremacist Caucasian women, which includes ex-convict Leslie, small grocery owner Kim, and disgruntled retail worker Marjorie. The members present their various grievances against immigrants, Jews, and feminists. I don't know, feminists. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I don't know if I'm watching that. Sounds kind of preachy, I'm assuming. Bondu for $10 says the reason why slurs are funny to use mostly for the juxtaposition of using it in a different context. And I think that it's what makes things funny the moment you realize the rabbit is also a duck. That's definitely plays into it. That's true. JMac for our surrogate father, thank you so much. Daddy JMac for $20 says, you guys familiar with the Warhammer 40K drama? I'm only partially involved, but got into it on the twits with someone. I felt like I distilled the argument that many of the anti-lore changers have in a very easily digestible way. I mean, I'm familiar with the old conflict, which was something about there was supposed to be some faction that's like only men, that they made them women. If there's something beyond that, I'm not really been following it, so I know Carl's all into that stuff, but
40K.
yes, all the 40K stuff.
Yeah, look, I read one book. It was pretty good. I read one book that was kind of a slog, so.
I don't really see where your thing is on Twitter, Jay. The lore is whatever it's. Oh, here it is.
The
What?
Yeah, it was 40K was going woke, right? Carl was upset about it. There was going to be
Well, that's
some.
the complaint, yeah.
Well,
So,
look, they mirror like a lot of the. I know why a lot of Catholic guys like 40K because they do mirror a lot of that Catholic aesthetic, but I think it was kind of the same. They were going for the same thing where it's like, oh my God, you're going to see a woman priest. Everyone was like, right?
mhm.
I do think so a lot of guys who have seen like women priests in the real world are like, the 40K universe is pure. There are no women in the whatever the equivalent of the priesthood is, right?
Mhm.
But then the evolution of the universe like mirrors the evolution of our actual universe, and they're like, no, make it stop.
Mhm.
I mean, you always talk about like Return to Monkey, right?
Yeah.
Like imagine if people build a universe where they do return to Monkey and it's the utopia everyone knows it will be.
That's
And then
Warhammer.
all of a sudden
I
they
thought
start
Warhammer was like a bunch of monsters and demons and shit they have to fight off.
No, Warhammer is like a universe of extreme like hierarchical existence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I always get
I mean,
Warhammer
there are like
confused with
monsters and stuff, but there's like technology and stuff
right.
that
I
kind of
always
thing
get
too.
there's two Warhammers. There's Warhammer and Warhammer 40K. And one's like medieval and one's future sci-fi.
Oh, it
Right?
is? Okay. So but
Yeah,
40K is the one that everyone likes.
I always get them confused. So I'm assuming 40K is the future
The
one.
year? Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Which one did you read? Was yours the future one or the past one?
Future, yeah,
Okay.
it was super cool. I mean, yeah. I'll look it up so I
Okay.
can tell you guys what the book was.
Mr. Ubercross for $2 says late and staying hard. Terrible.
Doesn't
Matt
have
for
the same kind of effect, right?
Matt for $5 says you two need to check out the Kids in the Hall skit about a college art class full of progressive students. It's prophetic, hilarious. Need to watch it now. All right, I'll check it out. I mean, we can't. I don't think we can watch it on stream because it's like I'm assuming it's. I don't know if it would get us copyrighted. I hear here it is. Kids in the Hall politically correct art class, but
We're still gonna finish that Hardcore Henry movie on stream,
oh
guys.
yeah,
Don't
one of these days, right?
yeah.
Angry Bellsprout for $2 says after stream I'll put YouTube videos about the restaurant. Okay, it's funny. Artemis Fowl, thanks so much for the $20. Thank you. Says this reminds me of the discourse where if you call black people violent, white liberals will say, I bet you won't say that to a black person's face, as if that doesn't imply liberals agree that black people are in fact violent. Yeah, I mean, that's not a good retort. That would not be a good retort to say. So JMac for $5 says, I'm glad the Jews imported my abuela to the United States of America so that I could be born in this beautiful freedom-loving country. Well, me too, Jay, and you're welcome, okay? As the representative of Jews in America that are engaging in their shadowy conspiracy to breed out the white people, you're welcome. Okay. Anything else, Adam?
I was looking for that Warhammer book, but I'm not sure. Maybe it was Xenos Eisenhorn Warhammer 40K book 1. Because I read 2, and this one says that I actually finished it. Inquisitor Eisenhorn faces a vast interstellar cabal and a dark power of demons, all racing to recover an ancient text of abominable power, an ancient tome known as the Necrotuke. The Necrotuke? I'm butchering these names, but this book was pretty interesting. Yeah. So anyway, that's it.
Well, that's it. See you guys later.
Take care. Bye-bye.